Hey guys, it's Karina here with another video. So today I'm going to talk more about YWAM. So YWAM was broken up into two phases, lecture phase and outreach phase. So today I'm going to talk about outreach phase and some highlight stories and whatnot. So for outreach I went to the Philippines, and the ministry we did while we were there was VBS, which is Vacation Bible School. We did that at 3 different locations, twice in Baguio and then once in Cebu. So we stayed at 2 different islands. For the first month we were in an island called Luzon, and the city we stayed at was called Baguio. And then the second island we stayed at was called Cebu, and we stayed in a city named Talisay. So both amazing locations. And yeah, so we did Vacation Bible School, which is just teaching like Bible stories to children and playing games with them and doing crafts and things like that. So it was really cool to like invest in those kids for like a week and really get to know them. So that was really awesome. And then we did a lot of church ministry. So we'd go to different churches, preach a sermon, lead worship, and just like run the church service. We did that a lot in Baguio. Not as much in Cebu though. Then we also did prison ministry, where we go to prisons and say a sermon and do some worship with them, and then some small group. So that was super cool. And then we also did hospital ministry, so we go to different hospitals and just pray for people for healing. So that was a great experience. And then we also got to go to a conference in Cebu and got to be the prayer team there and pray for the people at the conference. So that was super cool. And then there was also, we did a lot of evangelism. So we'd just go talk to people about Jesus, and the Philippines is like a Catholic nation, so a lot of people like know about God already. They just don't like have a really close relationship with Him. So we did a lot of evangelism, and it was very successful because a lot of people already know about God. They just don't have that like relationship with Him. So we saw like probably over 80 salvations of just people coming to Christ and getting to know Him, which was so incredible to witness and be a part of. So that was absolutely incredible. So just some highlight stories. So the first one I'm going to talk about is before we went to the Philippines, there was a big like drought going on in Baguio and Cebu really. And before we came, one of the girls on our team, she was like praying, and she got a vision of like God like opening up the floodgates and just like rain coming down in the Philippines. And it was so funny because the first day we got there, it was like had been a drought, and like it was pouring rain, just like absolutely pouring. And then the last day we were in Baguio, it poured rain again. And then when we went to Cebu, the last day before we left, it rained again. So it was just like, it was totally God working through our team and just like bringing the rain to the Philippines. So that was super cool. Another cool story from Baguio. We were running a church service that day, and it was the last Sunday we were in Baguio. And I felt like that day I should really like interact with the congregation a bit more. And I just felt like the Lord pressing on me to like talk to somebody that day. So like I went up to this girl. She was like on her phone, kind of kept to herself. Anyways, I start talking to her, and like she shares her testimony with me, and then I share my testimony with her, and then like later that day she ends up accepting the Lord, and it was just so incredible to witness. And a week later I was able to like get her a Bible, and I gave her like one of my books. It's just a Christian book that I thought would be helpful for her. She and I connected on Facebook, so that was super cool, and like we still keep in contact, and it's just been so amazing to be a part of that and like disciple somebody. So that's been really amazing. So that's probably like one of my highlight stories from the whole trip really. So that was super cool. Another highlight story is when we were in Cebu, we were doing hospital ministry, and we had some spare time afterwards, so we went out and evangelized. And my friend, she saw in a big crowd someone, and she's like, let's go talk to that girl. So we go and talk to her, and at first she doesn't really seem to understand us, so then our translator steps in, and she was able to translate for us, and like that day she ended up accepting Jesus, and it was just really awesome, and it was so cool because we might have not even talked to her that day if, you know, our translator hadn't stepped in, or, you know, and it was just like, obviously, like God was working through us, because like it was a huge crowd of people. Like my friend could have chosen anyone to go talk to, and she just felt like a need to talk to that girl specifically. So that was just super cool. Yeah, another amazing story was one day we were out at the market and we were doing evangelism, and first it was a cool day because we started talking to this one old lady, and she really opened up to us about her family and stuff, and we were able to like pray for her, and she ended up like accepting the Lord, which was amazing. And after that we were walking around the market, and a bunch of kids like started asking us questions, and then we get like a whole crowd, like maybe 10 or like 12 kids, and we start sharing the gospel with them and sharing like the story of Jesus, and it was just so amazing. And then we asked them if they all wanted to like accept Jesus, and they all like shoot up their hands and they're like, yeah, and it was awesome. And then afterwards we had to buy stuff at the market for like the YWAM base we were staying at, so like the kids are like showing us around the market where to buy everything. It was just such a fun day. It was just, yeah, amazing. The markets there are so cool, just like fruit and like all this fresh food everywhere, and it's just huge, and like just so funny to like have a group of kids just telling us where to go and everything. So that was another cool story. Another cool story, there's gonna be a lot of cool stories. This is story number 4. So we were in Baguio, and we were feeding the homeless that night. And it was a super cool night for everybody. We all had split off into groups, so everyone just ended up having a really cool night. We were in a group, and we evangelized to this one man, and he ended up accepting the Lord, which was awesome. And then we were evangelizing to this couple, and we start talking about the gospel, and they both accept Jesus, and then we realized that the man is blind, and we start praying for him. And as we're praying, like, he was able to start like seeing shadows and like figures, and he was getting clearer and clearer vision. And we're like, can we keep praying for you? So we keep praying, and then it's like 9:30 and our group wants to leave, so fortunately I had to head out. So we like arranged a time to meet the next day. Fortunately he did not show up, but we have full confidence like that he was healed by the Lord that night. So yeah, it was just incredible to witness. And then yeah, that night it was just so cool because another group evangelized to some prostitutes, and like they left their job on the spot and like accepted the Lord. And then another group, they talked to some guy, and he accepted the Lord, and they were able to give him a Bible like a couple days later. So just like a wild night with super cool stories. So that was just amazing to have such an impactful night and to have everyone have experienced something so cool. So that was just amazing. So overall, my trip to the Philippines was absolutely incredible. I learned so much, and just, yeah, really was able to see God work through so many different people, and we were just able to plant so many seeds while we were there. And yeah, it was just amazing to invest in a different group of people. And the people in the Philippines were just so hospitable and so kind, and it was just obvious that they wanted to talk to you, and just such friendly people. So it was truly an amazing experience, and I'd definitely do it again. Yeah, if you're ever going on a mission trip or anything like that, I highly encourage you to just try your absolute best, and like, don't be afraid to like step out in faith, and like just talk to somebody and tell them about the gospel, or like just do your best to make the greatest impact you can. And I highly recommend like long-term missions as well. Like, I think it's much more impactful if you go for like a month or 2 months, or even a year if you want to go into like long-term missions. Like, the longer you stay, the more impact you're going to make, and the more you're going to impact the people there and build relationships with the people there. So yeah, if you're going on a mission trip, I highly recommend going for like at least a month, and yeah, really just try to get to know the people and just build relationships, and yeah, step out of your comfort zone and just talk to people and make friendships. I think one of our biggest goals when we go out into the world is just to really love on people and show them like Jesus' love. I think that's one of the most impactful things you can do, is just give them this, because it's something tangible that they can have for the rest of their life, is like this faith with God. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, so that was like my experience in the Philippines, and it was absolutely incredible. It's such a beautiful country if you ever get the chance to go. Baguio had tons of mountains, so it was absolutely gorgeous. And Cebu was like near the ocean, so it was so beautiful. Palm trees and just like so gorgeous. Yeah, I'm planning on like posting an outreach / YWAM video soon with pictures and stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for some more videos, and I hope you guys have a great week, and know that if God put you to it, He will put you through it. Bye guys!